What's up guys, and welcome back to another replay cast. This game is between Bisu and Soulkey. So a little while ago this game was played, around about 12 months ago. But I'm actually on a mission to find a game of Bisu's where he's either playing a practice game or on stream like he is now against Soulkey, where he loses. I have this theory where he's just absolutely unstoppable in Protoss versus Zerg. Like, it's just unreal. I've just done a couple of games of his against Soma, and he's just looking like nobody can stop him. So we've gone back a little bit later. You would have noticed I've done 2 games of Soma's on Minstrel, both against Flash. All were played towards the end of 2024. And so found some more practice games of Soulkey's, where he is now playing against Bisu. So Bisu does not ladder on this C9_Bisu TY alias. This is his streaming and competition like Pro League and KCM, etc. That's his alias that he uses for that. So these guys are playing on stream, and therefore they take these games incredibly seriously. They're getting show match money. They're getting a lot of donos, sponsorships, etc. So they really try hard. This isn't like rubbish ladder practice where something goes wrong and they'll just GG out because they don't care about the MMR and stuff like that. You know, these games definitely have some stakes attached to them, and it definitely makes it more exciting as a spectacle. So I'm intentionally bringing in more and more. I'm trying to go with the rivals approach. So, you know, how big of a rival is Bisu versus Soulkey? How big of a rival is Bisu versus Soma? Bisu versus Flash, Soulkey versus Flash, etc, etc, etc. Snow versus Flash, Snow versus Rain. So we're going to be mixing up and intentionally finding matches. We've got slightly more sophisticated with our ability to source replays, and we're going to try and use that to our advantage as much as possible. And we're going to be bringing you more and more of the pro games, obviously based on the feedback and how well received they are. And slowly but surely we'll start phasing out some of the other games that we've been doing as we've returned to Broodwar, just to have a nice balance and variety to the channel. So that sounds good to you, and you haven't yet subscribed, please do. Also do hit the like button every time you watch a game of mine that you enjoy. It just gives me feedback. It helps me know that I'm on the right track. Alrighty, so we have a Zealot. Hello. So we obviously went Gateway first, which is something that Bisu tends to like to do. He's pretty good, got a very high APM, likes to apply a lot of pressure on the Zerg. Don't know where he's going with the Zealot, and maybe he just wants to try and confirm the location of the 3rd base or something. But yeah, this Minstrel map, by the way, just kind of makes me think of a modified Fighting Spirit, I would say. It's probably its closest resemblance. It's kind of taken some inspiration from a few maps, like some Heartbreak Ridge inspiration, some Fighting Spirit inspiration, you know, just like a mixed bag of a few maps kind of all rolled into one. It's pretty good though. I mean, it's not in circulation anymore, and it wasn't in circulation when I left Broodwar in like 2022, 23, I want to say. So it must have been around just for the 23-24 year. So it had a temporary purpose. I don't know if it ever made it to the ladder, but it was being used in other competitions. But didn't stand the test of time. There's some new funky, interesting maps around today, as we all know. But hopefully it'll lend itself to a pretty fun game. So what are we doing? We're doing Lair. Soulkey likes to play Lair. You don't see Hydra rushes from him very often. At time of recording, by the way, it is the 28th of March. So ASL 21 is well and truly underway. At the time you're watching this, it'll be much further along, and therefore nothing I say will be considered a spoiler. I was totally gutted that Soulkey fell out in the round of 24. Made me look like an absolute potato, calling him the GOAT. But I mean, even if, you know, you cannot discount what he did, winning it 4 times in a row. But that being said, to not make it through the round of 24 in the year that Flash is back is just super disappointing, because I really wanted the hype that those two would play each other either in the round of 8 or the round of 4, or however the draw went, just to try and legitimize this GOAT rivalry. Because now I can't, you know. Now it's going to be Flash versus, who knows, Soma. Rain's looking incredibly strong. I'm taking so many risks now because I'm saying it now on the 28th of March. Like, Rain's looking incredibly strong. So if Rain goes out in the round of 16, again, I'm going to look like a potato. But I'm a bold, I'm a bold potato. I will not be discouraged. My prediction is that Flash is going to struggle. My prediction was that Soulkey would put up a good fight, but Soulkey came out before ASL 21 saying he's not on top of his game. And I don't know why these guys do that, if it's to kind of soften the blow when they lose, because then they say, oh, well, I told you I wasn't going to do well. And if they do well, they're like, oh, well, I exceeded expectation, right? So we call that a cop-out. So I must say I'm not a huge fan of that in general in sport. Approaching a competition going, oh, well, you know, guys, I'm not really on top of my game and I'm not going to win. Don't do that, bro. I just don't think, you know, there's no upside. You know, you say you're not going to do well and then you don't do well. How does that benefit you? You know, you say you're not going to do well and then you do well. How does that benefit you? Like, anyway. Another little rabbit rant for you two guys to enjoy. So Bisu's Corsair flying around here, picking off an Overlord and confirming the Spire. And confirming that in most likelihood he's going to be up against, well, considering the Sunken, maybe some Mutas? Yeah, definitely some Mutas. Okay, so a bit of variety here from Soulkey. He tends to go 5-hatch Hydra. And then pivots into Mutas in the mid-game to try and pick off High Templar. So we'll see what happens. Bisu's been very clean and disciplined. In the previous game that I've just cast a little while ago against Soma, he was very, very sloppy. And he managed to take like a 13-minute third base. But because he's Bisu, all of these fundamental mistakes just somehow don't matter. And he just still finds a way to win, bro. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. It really, really is. Okay, so our Slelets, which is my funky word for slow zealots, are chillin'. But they're about to become fast zealots. And they're about to become +1. They're also about to get chowed by these Mutas. Ooh, that's a lot of Scourge noises. Okay, they're still all alive though. +1 zealots. Seems to want to now go back. I'm telling you, man. Bisu's jam is Zealot Corsair. He freaking loves this combination. So Soulkey has now brought some Corsairs to town. Oh my god, he's going to get so many Overlords because the Hydras that are supposed to be protecting the Overlords are occupied with the Zealots. Where are your Mutas, bro? And how are your Mutas going to fight against all these Overlords? Is this game just going to be over? Is this like a sneaky twofer? What is happening here? This Sunken's actually paying some serious dividends. And Bisu decides, nah, you got enough Hydras there. Ah! Now we know what the freaking Mutas were doing. Counter-harassing. Now the Corsair's got some work to do. Already got himself 3 or 4 probes for that. So had to split them off. And these +1 Corsairs are dangerous if you're a Muta. Still, what are you doing, bro? Has to shoot that Corsair. Has to shoot that Corsair like 1,000,000 times. Alrighty. So, recent games I've done at Bisu. 20 minutes, 22, 23 minutes, no sweat. Knock off some of the best Zergs in the world. Let's see how much of a challenge Soulkey is able to give him today. Soulkey's macro is really, really strong. I did actually say in a recent cast that I think Soulkey's the best Protoss versus Zerg, like the best Zerg in a Protoss versus Zerg match. And I stand by that. I mean, he can have dropped form in recent years. This is a game that was played at a time when he was really on top of his game. So this should be pretty close to the best, or his best, which is good. We want to try and find, when you can find peak games of players. I think it just makes it all the more exciting. By the way, I'll be doing some peak Jaedong versus Flash, the infamous best of 3 series that they played. I'm going to be covering that on my channel as a nostalgic tribute to the OGs. And also I'm going to do a very, very famous best of 5 between Flash and Bisu. That'll be coming up on the channel very soon. I really hope that you guys enjoy it and choose to experience it with me, even though you may have seen some or all of these games before sometime in the past. You haven't seen them with Rabbit, man, and that's just gonna be special. It just is. Why? Because I said so. Do we have a third? The answer is no. Do we have aspirations to get a third? Awkward to defend. These like weirdly shaped open bases are kind of painful. But we'll have to see what Bisu has in mind. Just has this random pod of Zealot Dark Templar just kind of chilling here. Don't know why, but he's always got his ideas. Another free overlord. So 122 plays 95, 54 probes plays 47 drones. Is it going to drop? So we're getting our lurkers, we're getting goons, we're going to get observers hit the field soon. Don't think so. By the way, do you guys like that I'm choosing to keep the panel up? I'm just going to remove the panel more sporadically now and keep it up for most of the game. Something that, based on the feedback that I've been getting from the community, on the balance of things, this just seemed to be something that everybody prefers. So that's what we're going to be doing until we get advice that is to the contrary. Lots and lots and lots of Hydras. Seems to be the go. And 8 lurkers. Still just gets himself an overlord. That is so annoying. Third base on the way up. Doesn't really have an army in the center part of the map to kind of protect or just enable the establishment. Where am I? What's my DT whacking? Eggs. There we go. So he's going to try and sneak something here. We'll just keep an eye on that. There he is. Just kind of open the back door. Presumably so that all these zealots can just die. Random. By the way, guys, I set myself a goal to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year. Based on how we're going now, we'll probably get there by the end of April. It's just been unreal. We've had such good growth and support. So I'll say thank you very much to everybody who subscribed. I really, really appreciate it. It's been so good to be back. I'm really, really grateful that I made my return to the game. And I definitely feel different about casting in all of the positive permutations and reasons around that. And I hope it's been noticeable. Like, I feel like it has been. If you compare some of the older games to the games you're watching now, just feel like I'm enjoying it more. Do you know what I mean? We're just doing 3rd and 4th. We got big BattleNet balls, man. That's what we got if we're Bisu. Let's go, baby. So +2 on those missile attacks from Soulkey. Supplies are quite close though, so this could actually just be an epic tussle. I have the feeling it's building up to that. Another base expanded now by Soulkey. This time he's using a unit to break the eggs and create a walkway between the two bases. And this is kind of where the finer nuance of this minstrel map I think is kind of showing itself. Which is interesting, but good. Very good. Are we getting hive tech? Where's our original base? Here it is. No defiler mount as of yet. No defiler mount as of yet. So probably going to get cracklings. He is upgrading melee attacks, and the only melee unit he has right now is Lynx. So I have the feeling that, there we go, it comes Adrenal, and there comes the defiler mount. So we're getting the full repertoire from our friend Soulkey. Bisu meanwhile moving his army around the map. Potentially going to pressure this position. Doesn't have much here actually, just a very narrow choke. We might just remove the panel just to give ourselves better visibility of this area. There's a little bit happening up here. The Corsairs are kind of watching some Lings move around. Bisu decides not to actually engage. Does have an observer. And this goon seems to be quite determined to die. Just gonna see where exactly Bisu's getting screwed by the pathing. But has now put some pressure here and decides, nope. Don't want to do that. Could get potentially sandwiched. Most of Soulkey's army is actually up here, being chased down by a handful of zealots. So like a kind of a weird split focus here in this game. Throwing down a few storms. No drones here as of yet. I think he wants to actually potentially pressure here. Meanwhile, Soulkey's got his army kind of divided here, which is definitely helping Bisu. Here does come the flank. Some decent storms. But the surround and the crackling power now kicking in. We're also getting Reavers. Oh my god, Bisu's throwing the whole repertoire here. Nothing really happening here, just sending down some reinforcements. And my fear for our Protoss is that he gets sandwiched here. Both players are maxed out. This is going to be an epic macro game. This is like a titanic battle. 2-1-2. Got one carapace. We obviously don't know what our locus have. That's 2. Another base from Bisu. Holy crap. The macro in this game. What have our Hydras got? 2-1. 1, 2, 3, 5 bases. 17 minutes. Damn! How are you going to stop BC with this kind of macro power? I suppose you got to try and rival it yourself. It's got a number of bases too, does Soulkey, but like holy crap, man. I think this is just confirmation of the base. This little passage has been opened. These zealots, I think, have just kind of enthusiastically run to their potential doom. Soulkey has to start denying and contesting bases. He cannot let Bisu just keep expanding here so freely. The map's pretty split though, but still, like, this just seems unsustainable. I wonder where he's going to be using the Reavers. He's upgrading the Scarab damage as well, so definitely commitment to Reavers. He sees that playing a part. Now the Dock Swarm has entered the equation. And holy crap, my attention span is going to be taxed here. Oh, it's going to kill these under the Dark Swarm. These cannons are doing absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, Bisu just decides, screw that, I'm moving in for the counter attack. Don't see any storms, but our first Reavers have arrived. They've been hit with some plague this game. Holy crap. Alright, Reavers are chilling here. Trying to find time to move them now with the shuttle. But the multitasking being texted from all sides. Big flank here from Soulkey. I think this whole army from Protoss is definitely going down. Supplies are now going to go. I think Zerg's going to move into the lead for the first time. Epic back and forth battle. Pretty much that's it. Still harassing the space. He's had to evacuate here. Keeps throwing up fresh Dark Swarms. DT's tidy up the last of the Lings that are here. And I think now this is heroic work from this DT. 4 kills. Gonna chase down the Defiler too. Is he gonna get him? Run! Oh, one more shot. No. Oh, he does get him. Good job. So the agonizing death sound of the Dark Templar greets us once more. Oh my god, this game. Alright, so Soulkey is on the move. Is he going to drop? Is he going to harass again? Does not want to let Bisu settle here at all. Bisu on the other hand decides, well, you know what? If you're going to harass me from this exact same position on the other side of the map, I'm going to harass you. And pick up some drones, pick up some kills. So that's what he's doing. Plague thrown down nicely. Uh-oh. I was going to say, the DT almost survived. But Daryl died. Even though his buddy Harold, the High Templar, did throw down a few decent storms. A couple more cannons coming in. Got a good eye on the other expansion spots of Bisu. I would argue, though, that he has enough bases just to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Zerg army. Although the Hive tech is definitely proving challenging. It does have a few Reavers with this, and the splash and the upgraded Scarab damage is definitely helping. So we chuck down a couple of Reavers here, and there's some Scarabs here should do some work. Boom! Boom! I think that must have dudded. Okay, so we're going to get some cut through here for sure. Meanwhile, once again we're harassing this position. But Bisu's entire army is just bombarded through here and might actually just keep going. Just harassment here with lurkers all the time, but a fully maxed out Bisu deciding, I'm actually going to come after you here, and you better concentrate your attention here, Mr. Soulkey. Otherwise, you're going to be in all sorts of grief. This is like a tournament final game. This is so insanely good. Alright, does he get a reprieve here? Nope. Just unrelentingly harassing that spot. I think Bisu's just a bit over defending it though. Would rather focus his attention here. Nice positioning on these lurkers under the Dark Swarm. Definitely going to slow Bisu down. Everything has got some plague on it. So now we're getting the benefit of having no panel because you've just got so much fight that's happening here. Unstoppable action. He's going to get this Nexus. This is insane. Bisu just cannot cope with the amount of areas need his attention, and I think Soulkey's actually going to tidy this up as well. Archons die pretty quick. Dud? Nope, no dud. Alrighty, so positioning some drones. This base is now gone. It's kind of establishing here as well. Soulkey's map presence is actually getting scary big. It may actually be good enough for him to be able to take this game just on a pure macro premise. Bisu's behind in supply. Let's have a quick look. If they ever give me a chance to just take stock of the game. This is nearly mined out. This is okay. This is okay, but I think it's going to get challenged. This is gone. This is gone. So in terms of mining base counts, Soulkey's got an insane amount of mining bases. So I dare say with my intro that Bisu is unstoppable in this match. And that Soulkey is the best Zerg versus Protoss player in the world. This game could certainly go Soulkey's way. But I am not yet bold enough to make that prediction or bet against Bisu. So here we go, pressing another base. Lurkers tearing through these Archons pretty quick smart. So Archon, Zealot, High Templar, Reaver. What a really wicked, interesting comp that is. And oh my god, here come the Adrenal Lings from the bottom side. This is a totally whiff storm. The Dark Swarm definitely slowing him down. The Dragoons and the relevance of them also becoming less and less and less. And Soulkey is just looking so strong here. 3-3. Everything's pretty much fully upgraded. Yeah. So we got fully upgraded units just kind of going toe-to-toe with each other. Lovely storm here. Killed a really decent number of drones as well. So this attack has put the supplies in this game dead even. There's no real other attacks or issues to be aware of at this stage. Soulkey just tidying up what's left here. Bisu still seems keen to potentially contest this position. A lot of the players' attention though is on this fight because this is a pretty important base. It's a double gas here. Oh my god, in the middle of the map. What a fun place to have a fight this is. Oh, the sheer number of thumbnail contenders. Holy moly, this one's a goodie though. The triple Reaver. Let's go. Oh, the Reavers are getting their work done for sure. Bisu is now about 30 ahead in supply. This has got to be one of the best PvZs I've ever watched. I'm actually just having so much fun. Oh, reinforcing Hydras coming in from the top side and from the bottom side. Some mutas have suddenly entered the fray as well. Like, where have you guys been? And now the Reavers are sadly going to meet their end. And he holds. The supplies once again dead even. What a game. Like, what a game. This one muta, like he has nothing that shoots up except these two goons. That's probably going to be good enough, funny enough. Whew, I can get my breath back. Oh, the speed that these cracklings tear through dragoons is just crazy. Another brilliant plague. Like, he didn't even miss one unit, it seems. I think Bisu wants to try and re-establish the space, but there's just so much Soulkey, and he's not letting him catch his breath. And chase down this Defiler, and does actually get him. Another big flank here. Oh, man. Sort of a whiff storm there. Reaver's doing good work. Needs to get this base back up. 45 drones. 124. So it's basically in excess of unit supplies on Soulkey's side here. Rah, rah, rah. Sound of Defilers eating their young. Rah, rah, rah. Here we go again. Another big tussle in the middle of the map. Another plague-oo. Bisu for the first time showing this little bit gun shy. Also floating a lot of money. Struggling for gas at the moment. Plenty of minerals, no gas. Trying to make Reavers and Scarabs. But I think he could do with just making some Zealots or something. Whoopsie. Sorry, drunk mouse hand. Could do with making some Zealots or something just to spend his bank. Which is what he is doing now. Making 9 Zealots. Now we're challenging another position. Let's go! Although the entire Soulkey army is hot on his heels here. And again, perfect flank opportunity. Lots and lots of Sunkens who shouldn't do too much against the Reavers. But the trailing... He's done well with Defilers. The Defiler play in this game from Soulkey has been masterful. So that's a forced evacuation here. Lurkers, though, are tidying up. And that's going to be forcing our Zealots to go somewhere else. But now they're kind of potentially surrounded. Yep, here we go. Oh, wow. Cracklings are quick. Jeez, like, holy crap and holy. Whew. This game. This game. Just the APRM, the micro. It's just unreal. Like, so many little things happen in that sequence. This little attempt to establish a base has died. And he's done it, guys. Bisu's lost to PvZ. Soulkey was absolutely phenomenal. So this was the end of 2024, beginning of 25, when these league games and show matches, stream games, etc. are being played. I gotta honestly, I think I need to lie down after that one. That was just unreal. What a game. Like, what an incredible game. Split map, unbelievable contesting of bases. And Soulkey was just able to deny this critical base while getting up pretty much the entire half of this map. His fights, his engagements, his micros, unit comps, just unreal. And you have to be unreal to beat Bisu in this match. And he was. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. If you enjoyed this game, please do hit a like. Any feedback or thoughts on it, always much appreciated. As mentioned before, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Many, many more of these still to come. And I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, take it easy, guys.